Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. Got a videos a day from MTR. Fresh and fit gets women pregnant and instantly regrets it. Let's get to it, guys. Please like, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
Breaking news, this just in. This well-endowed young lady is accusing Fresh Prince CEO of the Fresh and Fit podcast of him going raw daddy, viciously and violently, severing those cheeks and squirting deep inside of her, thus producing a baby from her. Now, let me say this if we get started in the content. This is bubbling up on Twitter. This is bubbling up on Instagram, where she, who goes by the name of CJ Daisy, who apparently won Miss Asia at some point in her life, but she's
pretty damn good looking, I gotta admit. You know, Fresh really picked a good one in a sense of looks wise and everything, but that's why you never just pick off of looks.
Releasing all of these text messages as well as previously recorded phone conversation with Fresh Prince, with him trying to get her to abort the child. Fresh and Fit has not confirmed nor denied any of these things as of yet, but this woman has gone on multiple podcasts thus far in order to talk about the situation. So I really want to give you guys my perspective, but first let's go through all of the data that we have so far.
All right.
I want the baby because I don't want to kill the baby. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'll cover
You're
it.
not. They just give you a pill and it's over.
No.
I think that's what Red Pill kind of like pushes. Just take the pill and it's over. It doesn't affect her. You know, it's not a true abortion. Don't be fucking and jizzing in women that you don't want to have kids with. How about that? That would be a good way to go about things too.
I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't. In my religion, we don't kill.
You're not killing. Okay.
I want to keep the baby.
Of course she does.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just don't want any kids. You know?
Okay, so what?
It's weird to me that for a man to say he says he doesn't want any kids and he's living the lifestyle he does, why doesn't he get a vasectomy? That's just my thought process on this. If you truly don't want kids, I want kids, so I don't think I'm gonna get a vasectomy, at least not anytime soon.
What you gonna do? And what you gonna do to me?
Nothing.
He ain't some
Why
mobster
did I do
or
anything to
something.
you?
Nothing?
Why did I do anything to you?
No, I know. So like, how are you gonna deal with this? By saying I don't want a baby? That's all?
At this point in the conversation, I'm so confused. Either it's that her English is so bad and she just don't understand what it is that he's saying, or she is a slow young woman. Because he said what he wanted to do, which is to have an A. At this point, I'm thinking, how ridiculous of you, Fresh, to be going raw daddy in this woman when it's so clear and obvious, at least to this point in the recording, that she's trying to set you up.
Yep.
And I'm also thinking, how real could this actually be that she's in fact pregnant with his kid? Let's keep going.
I mean,
Just because you're rich and make a lot of money doesn't mean you make smart decisions all the time, guys. Plenty of rich men get fucked over just like this.
I can go to the doctor, I guess.
To the doctor. So you want a boy?
I mean, yeah. Why do you want a kid now?
Because she
And why
wants
do you
your
make
money,
me
bro.
pregnant now?
That's what I'm like. There's no way that's true. But then I said, oh wow, like.
So just think about it. It's meant to be. God
Sorry?
wants. God wants.
Once you hear God wants it and it was meant to be, she created that and she made that happen, boys.
Wants you to have the baby.
Definitely not.
It is. God wants you to have a baby. 7 years never happened, and then you're you're fucking me for a month, and I'm pregnant. What does that mean?
That means you trapped the shit out of them.
Fresh was going raw daddy in you. It wasn't pulling out at least. Guys, what do I tell you? Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. Fresh apparently.
Boys, I admit, I fucked around and fucked up sometimes and went raw in, but I've never busted in a woman. Why would you guys bust in her? At least pull out. That's the bare minimum you can do is pull out. And you just leave your schlong in there while it's blasting? Irresponsible, guys. Irresponsible.
Was not doing that.
Like now, I just think about if you force me to kill the baby, then you're a sin.
I think he was sinning this whole time. You guys were sinning this whole time.
But it's too late now. You know?
And these are some of the leaked DMs from their conversation. These were actually posted before that audio. The pregnant woman says, all I'm saying is that you should take responsibility for what you did. I am a victim in this relationship. And I'm carrying your baby. You act like you don't care and you don't want nothing. He says, also, now I'm worried I have to test other girls, at least 4. She says, another girl? 4 girls? So you're saying you have with 4 girls without protection? I hope you have all the money for your children's support. And finally admit you are effing trash. I also heard that this chick was actually on the Fresh and Fit podcast to know what it is that they talk
exactly
about
who
and to
this
be messing
guy
with him
is.
for a month and assume that he doesn't have other.
Again, women choose whoever they fucking choose, right? This Fresh is pretty much a Nick Cannon type. He's gonna fuck around. He's always said he was gonna fuck around and do his own thing. But yet, women still want to have babies with him. And they're gonna be single mothers. And they chose all of this. She has literally chosen every single step of the way currently to get to where she is. Him also.
Women in the stable is absolutely ridiculous. But you see a reference to money right here, which is what actually this whole situation can be about. So he responds, I don't have money. Good luck. LOL. You will see. You should have a kid with someone you are in love with in the same household. It won't be what you expect. Man up. I'm telling you now, so you know. She says, I don't expect anything anymore since we are not together. I got pregnant with you when I was at your house and when I was in love. You wanted to
In love. Sure. There's just the amount of cappery and bullshit that's in this message right now. I was in love? Really? To the guy that, shits on women most of the time, doesn't really talk much on the actual podcast, talks about fucking women all the time, talks about I don't want to be monogamous, talks about I don't want kids. You were in love with him.
have the baby. If you did it, you did bust all in me with your own pleasure. Be logic and be a man. I don't get pregnant by myself. It's not fair for the baby. What are you saying? We are not together and won't be. Why would that be good for a kid? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But what I find interesting about this is that he is not negating that he is busting in her without a goddamn comment, unto which I gotta think and say to myself, Fresh, what are you doing? You going raw daddy and these chicks that you have on the show? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, again, for not wanting kids and stuff, you should have had a vasectomy. If you had a vasectomy, you can go raw daddy and do whatever the hell you want and you'd be perfectly fine.
You know better. I know Myron is telling you to know better. I get it. She's a baddie. But why set yourself and your life up for so much drama knowing that women are going to be attracted to you not because of your personality, not because of your face, but because of the amount of money that you have in your account? And you're busted in these thoughts, raw daddy? What is wrong with you? She has the logic to think, well, if you are not wearing a condom and you are busting in me raw, that must mean that you want a child. While I agree, she's making a couple of logical jumps. I can't disagree with her. What else
right?
are you leaving your seed in a woman that you know in your heart of hearts really don't fuck with you like that? She's probably there for the money. So why did you keep busting your loads all up inside of me? Also, he says, things happen and yes, feelings change, but bringing a kid into this world without both parents, love is cruel. We both thought you wouldn't get pregnant. Fresh, this is like rule number one
Right?
in
Never believe the woman.
dealing with women and beginning to start to have sex with them. Never, ever, 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 ever trust and believe when they tell you that they cannot have children. Don't even believe them unless you go into the doctor office with them when they're putting the damn birth control unit into her cervix, unless you can watch that act happening. Or if you go up into the back of it and you feel that little wire hanging down, or if she shows you the thing in her arm, but even if she's just taking a pill, do not trust it. Again, especially when you know that you're meeting these girls on the show, because they're obviously going to set you up for the jokes. 3 to 4 weeks, the doctor says. He says, oh, okay. It's our baby, and you want to kill our baby. You are not being a good human. It's not about that right now. It's not good. And a lot is happening, especially now business may be over. I don't want kids right now. And we spoke
No, is Fresh and Fit's podcast doing that bad to where they're ending?
about it and you agreed. Again, they'll change their mind. They'll flip the script. Sometimes, even when they're good-natured women, they'll go get that sonogram and see it inside. And then all of a sudden they change their mind then. But just don't ever trust it. The best way to guard against this is to just not go in raw daddy. But here's the thing. We're all human. We're all fallible.
Again,
we all make mistakes.
we make mistakes.
And I understand that. But for the empty army, you're beginning to understand how quickly that these women can change their minds or insert little distractions in there to make you go inside because they see you as a great option going into the future. I never agreed. I agreed based on your actions. Are you not educated? If you keep releasing your seed inside of me, that I will get pregnant. Can't disagree with her. I don't get pregnant without your behavior. Words mean nothing.
MDR is so good to like replace these words with the correct words and all this stuff. If I was reading this, you guys would be like, what the fuck is this guy reading?
Man up. I'm not saying I want to be with you, because I don't, because you are nothing to me.
But yet you still chose to let him come inside of you, and yet you're still choosing to keep the child, which is, don't think that because I say that, I think I want the child to be aborted, guys. I don't. I'm really against it. But I'm just saying it just, as the scenario is happening right now.
But the baby is innocent. So there's a picture here of 2 pregnancy tests. And then she writes, you always told me you wanted me to be your baby's mother. Okay. So you're in a relationship with her?
Again, Pookies are gonna lie. They lie all the time to get into your pants. And women truly believe in Pookies. This is such a real life moment here of a woman talking to a Pookie. The Pookie just pretty much lying. She knows exactly what the Pookie is. She knows he sleeps around, not monogamous, probably doesn't want children, probably gonna be a horrible father. But yet the Pookie tells her, I want you to be the mother of my child. And she totally believes it.
Are you just lying to her? I loved you and I did everything to be a good girlfriend. Okay, yeah, they were in a relationship. You guys are actually finding things out as I'm reading it. Now this is happening. You walked away. I think I want to keep the baby. I don't want to end alive. I want you to think carefully and take the responsibility. He responds back, I'll call you shortly. She says, take your time. Apparently a call happened. And then he responded, I can't have kids. And she says, take responsibility for your actions. So where does this leave the entire situation? Well, obviously the story is still developing. And I think over the next couple of days, there's going to be a lot more information to come out. But I think at the end of the day, people are going to ask questions like, is this going to have an impact on the Fresh and Fit podcast?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think it's going to have any impact. I think if this was something that was happening to Myron, it would have much more of a lasting impact. Why? Fresh and Fit's audience routinely challenges the impact that Fresh has on the entire production. They constantly challenge his degree or perceived work ethic within the podcast, like during the taping, during the show. They constantly challenge him on what appears to be his inability to stay consistent within the gym. They challenge him on his degrees of masculinity. And they also put in the question the difference between his public perception and the way that he lives within his private life. And I think that this will be evidence, if true, mind you, that will add more insult to injury, less so to the entirety of the Fresh and Fit podcast, but more so to his own credibility within that. I don't think Myron is going to do anything to remove him from his seat, because it seems as though what he preaches publicly doesn't match what he practices privately. I think they're just going to move on from this situation. We'll see if they're going to address it. But yeah, just the fact that this chick was recording the entire conversations, this sounds like this was the plan all along.
Yep.
This sounds like this was the okie doke. It's easy
The
for
rope-a-dope.
a woman like this, who I don't even know if she's a natural born citizen, if she's looking
I don't
for a
believe so.
passport.
Not with that accent.
And this is her way to try to get a passport over here. Women like this will accept your seat because they're looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. Meanwhile, you're thinking with your incorrect head. So
Women using their children to get ahead in life. It's been since the dawn of time.
if this is all true, Fresh has absolutely nobody to blame but his damn self. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Me, go to tourismreviews@gmail.com. Guys, leave me your comments down below.
Shout out to MTR. When I saw this on my YouTube feed, I must cover this. I can't believe the people that preach, the things that they preach, don't even practice their own things. That's the weird part about a lot of YouTubers and just people in general, I guess. It's not just YouTubers. Everybody does this shit. Religious people, non-religious people, politicians, all this shit. Just practice how you preach. Do the things that you tell others to do. And people respect you for that. At least that's what I noticed. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.